I'ma chase success with global.media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne.
We're going nowhere. This is, it says it's live on my YouTube. I'm hoping it's not. Let me check. Oh no, we are live. Oh no, right. Okay. Coach, we need to connect your account again.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm trying. Let me do it now. Otherwise, our LinkedIn friends will be in trouble. Sign you. Password. I don't know why yours falls off so easily. Reconnect. We're reconnected. Yay. Yay. Excellent. Good to go. Okay. Oh, I was concerned for a second. I'm glad that that's fixed. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Coach David's party. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to join. If you're here, please drop us a comment. Ooh, I better turn my YouTube on. Coach David, how are you doing? It's book launch day. It's your book launch day.
Yes, I'm fine. I'm good.
It's like your birthday.
Yeah.
How big is your birthday?
Yeah, my birthday is on the 6th of April.
Is
That's
it?
on Sunday.
Okay. So
Michael, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm great. How about you, Coach? I'm glad to see
fine.
you too. All right. This is a great day for you.
It's nice. It's a hot day here, which is good and bad, I suppose. Being what it is in England, it's not often they say it's a hot day. So it's kind of distracting. When you want a cold day, that way you can just work. But today is a hot one, and here we are.
The way I'm thinking about it is that Annie is simulating his own heat.
Annie, I don't think we're live on. We're not live on LinkedIn yet.
We should be. So I'm just joining now.
Okay.
It says it starts soon, but it will start in a few seconds because we are live.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so I have to go live. Okay, we're live now on LinkedIn. We're live everywhere. Excellent. Let me make sure my LinkedIn screen is refreshing and I can see myself again. I love to see me on screen, I think. I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. So we're having a few tech glitches, says Coach. I can see that. So
yeah, but since the event will start soon, wait for the host to start.
Yeah, everything will start now. We're here. That's the important thing. There's no point me refreshing. So it's a matter of time. I'm sure it's a matter of time. No one's messaged me to say they can't join in yet. So
okay,
we're live. Yeah, I'm looking at it right. So there's nothing we're waiting for. So welcome to Coach David's book launch party. I'm excited. I've got my book. Look, if you're here, there's people here, so please drop us a comment. Tell us where you're joining us from. Tell us what you think. Tell us anything. How's your day going? But just say hi. Just say hi. That will do. That's a good place to start. Coach, I'm not going to talk all the way through. The tech issues are sorted now, right?
Yes,
now it's all about you and your prophetic ecosystems and dynamics. Yay. Excellent.
Thank you so much, Annie.
And not that I know what any of that means, by the way. I'm just saying. But that's why I bought the book, right? So I will learn. I will
Absolutely.
find out what all that dynamics and ecosystem really means.
Mhm.
Did I save your video? What's your video from last night? Your YouTube video.
It,
Play that.
it's on your. It's on your WhatsApp. I sent the link on your WhatsApp.
Who's that? Oh, Paulette. Oh, honestly, Paulette's bought 3 books so far. Well, her husband Charles just bought one, so it's so good. Man. I love these days, Coach. I love these days.
Mhm.
Excitement. The excitement of when are we going to get bestseller? Are we going to get bestseller?
Yes, we will.
We will. Of course, Michael's bought his book, so that cheers me up.
Yeah,
Hopefully Michael will win the prize, the $20 prize.
Michael.
We hope. Take confirmation, Coach David.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, well, you haven't won one yet, have you?
No,
Yeah,
I haven't been
that's what
participating as much as everybody else has
you,
either.
you were in last time.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
So one day, Michael will be one day will be you. It can't be me, sadly. So okay. This is Ben's one. Okay, better save that too.
It
See,
will be magical if that happens. And I'll
part of
have to
my
thank Coach.
part of my days in administration. So when anyone buys a book, they have to send me a receipt, Coach, and I have to put it into a folder, file
Okay.
price.
Okay.
So if anyone sends you a screenshot of the receipt, then please send it to me. Uh, yeah. So I mean, so far, so we've got 7 people in the folder in the prize draw. So that's good.
Okay.
And so from there we just carry on working. If we can try and get to 30, 40 with our friends on LinkedIn, then we're laughing, right? Is
Mhm.
Laverne there? Yeah, Laverne's there already. Okay, superb. Oh well, wow. What did we do on these days, Liana? I see there's many more people in the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me welcome you properly because I'm doing other things. Oh no! Oh, terrible, terrible. I can't bring you on stage because StreamYard and my LinkedIn haven't caught up yet. Liana, welcome. So glad you're here. So Akini, I see you as well. Moyo, if you think I can pronounce your whole name, you have no chance. That's not gonna happen, Moyo. It says congratulations on your book launch, Coach. So Akini says congratulations, great man. That's referring to you, not to me. That one knows who I am, right? Okay. Oh,
Thank you.
welcome. Thanks for joining us, my friend. You're here. This is your chance to go and buy this 600 odd pages big book for $1.99. You even get change. So if you haven't bought the book yet, please go and buy the book. If you want the link is on the event page. If you want the link sent to your
Excuse me.
DM, then please, by all means, put in the comments. Send me the link to buy the book. And I'll send it to your DM. If not connected, I'll send it to your I'll send it as a connection request. That's a message in that first message that I want to send you, right? So thank you so much. I'm so glad. I'm glad we're finally here, Coach. I have to say, it's been fun doing our events. You
Yeah,
know,
it is.
your unfair advantage events.
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely fantastic. The past few hours has been interesting.
Okay, so I suppose this is your party, by the way. So yeah, so you have to talk. I'm not going to speak. No, so tell us about the book. Tell us about what made you write this book.
Yeah, very, very interesting question. So I have spent, as you know, many years researching the human soul, uh, almost 30 years now, and also about hearing God, understanding the divine, the counsel of God, and all of those things. And I stumbled upon the fact that all through the Bible, because I'm a student of the Bible, there's been a lot of genius moments, men and women who have done so well in their own ecosystem and time. You got Abraham, who was a father of faith, very rich man. Isaac followed suit. Jacob, who was able to, find ingenious ways in agriculture to rear animals, and those animals became stronger. The first plant breeding, so animal breeding geneticists in the Bible. And then you got Daniel, who was a civil servant and was extremely intelligent, and was 10 times better than everybody, who was a researcher, an academician, and also advisor to the king of his day. You got the same thing in Solomon, the wisest king, by virtue of encounters with God and the divine. He was able to come up with wisdom so that the nations of the earth saw another level of creativity. I can go on and on. David, the man who said, "Blessed be God, who teacheth my fingers to war and my hand to battle." So I saw repeatedly Esther, who just won a beauty pageant. Now, all of these people were professionals in different spheres of human influence. So, wait a minute. Being a genius, according to the plan of God, must not be in church alone. But you don't need to be a pastor, an evangelist, a prophet. If you are in supply chain management, for example, you're in risk management. Because in my experience, I found a lot of genius moments where I know it was God who helped me. There's a lot of that littering all my life, all across the landscape. And I've been opportune to be a steward of the same life of many. I've been able to teach different people how to do this over the past 30 years. I started in my teenage years. Some people might be online and they will share some of my stories, even as a young teenager. So this gave me a lot of joy and happiness. And I began deeper research because I'm a management thinker, and I love to read and all of that. And I'm also a futurist. I began to ask questions because very soon AI and all the systems of this world is about to outdo man, in quote, in the workspace. What are we going to do? Today we have dogs who are more intelligent in sniffing drugs, in quotes. We have dogs who are more intelligent in care. The human being will need extra intelligence even with animals, as compared to animals, talk less of AI. We are entering the space in the workspace where we are going to have four kinds of workers. There will be human beings, there will be animals, there will be machines, and there will be nature and the systems of the earth. In the midst of those ecosystems, in the midst of those elements of the ecosystem, man needs to find new ways of being a genius. Otherwise, for the first time, machines will be more intelligent than us. So, what would you do in supply chain? What would you do in economics? What would you do in strategy? What would you do in creativity? What would you do when these machines all of a sudden become more important? Are we going to more intelligent? Are we going to throw in the towel and say, well, we don't know? Or you're going to find new solutions. And that's how I came about this book, researching how prophetic intelligence will work in each of these sectors of the human economy. Totally started as a small, curious research, and then it became big and was getting bigger and bigger. I mean, you saw somebody read the material and said, "How did you? What are you? How did you find about this idea?" I just was curious. Can I do strategy differently? Can I do a supply chain differently? As a risk manager, can I do enterprise risk differently? Can I do my cybersecurity work differently? And then from area to area, I began to see the moment of the application, and boom, here we are today. Andy, you're muted. You're speaking, but you're muted.
I said it is quite a big book,
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
gave it out. So you can tell us what's in the book if you don't mind. And before you do that, let me welcome some more people. Michelle B, I see you. So Pure Lua, welcome as well. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you're here. I always call Nikki the genius because she has several bits of genius, several genius expertise areas, genius zones, call it that. So, she does branding, she does many other things beside. Do connect with her. Thank God. That's someone's name. I'm just saying. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here, right? Yeah, your name really is Thank God. I love African names that really are what they are, right?
Yeah.
Olufemi, welcome as well. Thank you so much. So congratulations on your book launch. Who have I missed? Ibironke, Madam Ibironke, glad you're here. So our parenting experts, parenting genius, glad you're here for sure. Pamela, I see you too. Joy.com, I like that. How'd you get away with that on LinkedIn? LinkedIn's going to come to you sooner or later and say, is your name really joy.com?
Ah,
If you can't prove it, you have to change your account name. Change your account name to your real name, Joy. Otherwise, they will block your account and then you lose all your connections and it's a bit more miserable. So don't wait till LinkedIn comes to you. Change it now before they come to you. And I said, also, who have I missed? Charles, I see you, Mr. Charles Jenkins. Congratulations, sir. Thank you all for joining us. Of course, look, we know the issues for people in Africa buying books from Amazon. It's a problem. We know. So the only thing we can do is say, if you are in the diaspora, if you know someone in the diaspora, then please get them to go and buy the book on your behalf. That's the best way I can think of, right? So if you know someone in England, the US, in Canada, in a European country, then get them to buy the book. So we're happy to share the link. It all counts. If you can buy the book yourself, then please go on, click on the link. The book costs 99 cents and 77 pence today. Only today that you're going to have those prices. Tomorrow, we're going to be back up to, is it $14.99 or is it more, Coach?
$14.99.
Yeah,
$14.99.
$14.99. So only today do you get to buy it for 99 cents. Because we're trying to get as many sales as we can today. That way we can make Coach David an international bestselling author with your help. If every copy counts, my friends. If you can possibly buy this book, please go and buy the book now. If you want the link, let me know. Say no. The only thing I care about today, Mike, as I said to you, Michael, is selling more of these books. We need this book to be number one on Amazon. That only happens if everyone buys their copy and just keeps buying their copy. As a coach, find out that you can buy the book for other people, right? You can donate it. So if that's your thing, you do that. Modukbe, welcome as well. Oh, I said that quite well. That worked out for me, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it
I don't
did.
know. I don't normally do the Dukbe very well until it tells me off every time. So any one of for your friends, you can buy one for your friends. You can buy it on Amazon. They make it slightly tricky, Michelle, because if you buy it for someone and you want to send it to them directly from Amazon at checkout, then you will have to put the email into Amazon. Ideally, the email that they're on Amazon with, which is a bit of a pain. So you basically need to talk to the person, make sure they want the book. Then you can buy the book, and then they give you the email there and then. You put it in, and then it's your uncle. Up here, Liwa, you want the link for the studio or the link for the book? Let me send you the link for the book because that's more exciting, right? Okay, where's my buffer? There you go. Right, now I've got to try and find you somewhere. Let me open this. Coach, you got to talk to
Yes.
your audience, my friend. They're here for you, not for me.
Yeah.
Why is the book so
Thank
long?
you.
Why is the book so long?
Yes, it's long, and I have a copy here with me. I have a copy here with me. Can you see how big it is? Can you see the thickness? That's the thickness of the book. Okay.
My friends, when you go to, please buy the ebook. Don't buy the print book. Buy the ebook. And today,
Yes,
for today, I only buy the ebook.
yes.
After
The,
today, you
the,
can buy
yes, the book
the.
is really thick. The book is really thick
Mm.
because I want to read to you what's going on. You see, it has 27 parts. The book has 20, yeah, 27, including about the author. So it's 26 parts. Number one, there's prophetic innovation. How do you apply the prophetic to innovation? How that There's prophetic governance. How do you apply the prophetic to governance? How do you apply it to risk management? How do you apply it to foresighting? How do you apply it to prophetic alignment? How do you apply the prophetic to collaboration? How do you apply it to creativity? That's number eight. Number nine, how do you apply the prophetic to leadership? Number 10, how do you apply the prophetic to communication? Number 11, how do you apply the prophetic to resilience? How do you just go beyond just being resilient into prophetic resilience? There's also prophetic negotiation. I was head of value management at the largest marketing comms group in West Africa for about 5 years, 4 5 years, 4 years and about 10 months. And I was in charge of the negotiation for the group, and I did some very big stuff there, and also my days at MTN Nigeria. Now, I saw a lot of prophetic interventions in negotiation, some very interesting stories right there. And there's also advocacy. How do you apply the prophetic to advocacy? How do you apply it to networking? To wealth generation, that's number 15. How do you apply the prophetic to timing? Then to data interpretation, how do you add prophetic insight to what data is telling you? And how do you apply the prophetic to your legacy? There's prophetic healing, that's for doctors and medical people. And there's prophetic insight into human behavior. The 21st application case is how do you apply prophetic intelligence to national transformation, unlocking divine strategy for national transformation? Then, how do you adapt to change? That's part 22, prophetic agility. And then there's prophetic business process re-engineering. How do you transform systems for divine efficiency in the age of AI? And then the applications to supply chain. How do you align efficiency with divine strategy? And the role of the prophet in prophetic governance. And then how do you apply the prophetic to teams and communities? And handle things like productivity and direction in a saturated world where creativity is always at the edge. These are very interesting things, and then you have about the author. All right, so that's why you have that large volume. We had to apply to all of those areas. Those things I read out are my own imprint in the professional world. For the past 25 years, almost, I've been working. Since I began to work, I have had the benefit of enjoying prophetic intervention in my work and assignment, and I'm a chronicler. Call me a compulsive chronicler. I got chronicles. Now, that's not a book in the Bible. The word chronicle, and I don't want to sound like a preacher now, means you have your odyssey, and that be I write down my weekly journals and stories. So as I began to reflect on my stories after some years, and much more recently, this bettered this book. It was me just looking curiously into my horizon, and then my story began to make sense in terms of this area. And I know many professionals who could really be greater than what they are doing now if they can apply these principles into their lives. I was about, let me just read a little bit about the book. In a world overwhelmed by uncertainty and rapid change, the need for clarity, direction, and divine alignment has never been greater. The prophetic ecosystem and the dynamics is not just a book, it's a revelation, a blueprint for understanding how God's prophetic order interacts with the intricate spheres of human influence, from leadership to innovation, personal transformation to societal reformation. This book is a bridge between spiritual realities and practical impact on the ground. You see, many times the prophetic had been confined up to this time to very religious spaces. but this book dares to unveil its true scope and capacity. It's not a fleeting moment or an isolated gift. It's a living, breathing ecosystem where revelation flows like rivers, wisdom anchors like roots, and actions blossom like trees bearing fruit. Through its chapters, the prophetic becomes tangible, actionable, essential, and you can impact with it. Imagine assessing divine foresight to navigate the challenges before they arise. Consider unlocking creative solutions where others are only seeing problems. Envision leadership rooted in humility, yet guided by supernatural insight. This is the power of the prophetic ecosystem, a system designed by God to shape lives, businesses, ministries, and nations. This book, and that's me, I'm someone that runs where even angels dare to tread. I mean, some people call me foolish, but I mean, it's okay to be comfortable with being foolish. One of the things that we should learn in our generation, the comfortability to be comfortable, to look at this is where people will run away from. This is how genius is made. This book ventures where few, if any, have dared to go. It explores the prophetic's role in governance, where it transforms leadership strategies and stabilizes nations. It examines prophetic timing, where the right word delivered at the right moment shifts entire seasons. It delves into prophetic innovation, showing how heavenly insight bets groundbreaking solutions in science, tech, and the arts. Whether you're a leader navigating the complexities of governance, an entrepreneur seeking divine strategies, a minister yearning for deeper alignment, or an individual desiring personal transformation, the prophetic ecosystem and dynamics will ignite your curiosity, expand your understanding, and empower your calling. This is not merely a book to be read, it's a journey. With each page, you'll find yourself captured by its depth, challenged by its insights, and compelled to live a life illuminated by the prophetic clarity. It's a call to not only understand the prophetic, but to embody it, to become a vessel through which God's light flows into every sphere of influence. Welcome to Legacy, Prophetic Ecosystem and Dynamics. Yeah, I read that because that is my conviction, and that's what I hope to achieve when I pen this down.
Excellent.
I hope I didn't bore you guys.
No, no, no. When I was saying we love the authors reading from their book for sure. So it sounds. Say, I think people are gonna have to read the book to really get it, to really understand, right?
Yes,
To really get the benefits. And I say, well, we'll come to the benefits next. Joni, thank you so much. Joni just sent me confirmation that she's bought her copy. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for many more.
and I can read. I can see some very good. Someone said preacher is in use.
No, I can't see any of that. So that's all right. None of that really affects me. On this day, this isn't one thing I care about, my friends. Until we get the bestsellers and become international bestseller, I don't relax. I'm kind of obsessed. I'm kind of fixated. But it's all right. One by one. If you haven't bought your book yet, my friends, please go and buy your copy. Don't forget to send us confirmation, a screenshot of the book in your library, a screenshot of the receipt Amazon sends you. Anything like that would do. So we say that way. If you send a confirmation, we can add you to our prize draw, where you get to win £20. You spend 77 pence today, and you have the chance to win £20 in return. I think Michael's won it already, but no, we won't know until the time comes, right? Until the day when we actually go out there and do the prize draw. We're just not going to know. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for Coach. I'm excited for everyone, really. Yeah, but I'm kind of taken up by the mission, the task. So, Coach, what
yes.
is this book going to do for me? When I read this book, which I will, how's it going to affect my life? How's it going to change my perspective? How's it going to change my future?
Yes, Annie, thank you very much for that question. You spot on question. What you do is in the realm of public relations. what you do is in the realm of making people famous. Now, there are gateways to every society or community, especially as you know in PR. They are the words that work. Now, those words can be ministered to you or inspired, and they will open the gates of the heart of men and make them more disposable to buy. The second thing is that everyone was created with words, and discerning those words and there levels of intelligence. You already know what to do because that's what you do, but all of a sudden, extra light can come to you, and some words can begin to carry meaning, and then it's going to be much more deeper and make people to want to buy. I think also Ogilvy that said the work of uh, the realm in which you belong, Annie, is to disrupt a person's day and force a change in behavior to a brand, to make a brand preferred. I didn't do any work. There's no chapter because it was getting bulkier. Maybe I'll consider that in next treatise. The marketing communication spectrum. I didn't do so much work there. I only did for creativity, but I didn't do for PR and what you do. But there is what would sell, and it can be ministered to you, or you can be inspired in a way that people would want to buy or go after that material or that thing. um, the other thing I know is that there is a part of the divine that can expand something. And there's a case study in scripture. Permit me, the Bible says, and God magnified Solomon in the eyes of all Israel and bestowed upon him such royal majesty and splendor, so that there was no king before or after him that was that great. I'll say it again. And God magnified Solomon in the eyes of all Israel. It means God put a goggle in the eyes of everyone. And so when they saw Solomon, they saw a very big Solomon. There was an impression of Solomon that was the divine. There was an impression in the heart of God that imprinted on people's hearts. And when they looked at Solomon, they saw a very great, superb guy. And that can be given and imparted into a person or an idea and help your work as a PR professional. Yep. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, Michael. Now I wonder, what are you thinking, Michael? Are you still there?
Michael, are you there?
He's there. No, normally, he might be working.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
you sounded
Michael.
This is what I was
quiet.
thinking. I was thinking that if you can give us a synopsis of where you were uh, for the different chapters that you had written, and what your thought process was at the time before you even started writing the chapter, and then I think that you at the same time you also projected the end of the chapter before you even started writing it. So if you give us a synopsis of what you were doing at the time in order to make you write that chapter, because you wrote it for some reason, and of course that it is of significance. But we're trying to understand is why at that time was it of significance to you in order to put it down, to pen it down in a book to convey that information up to us.
Mhm. Hold
Let's
on.
go from
Yeah, I muted you, but I just unmuted you again, so it's all right.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me go from number one. Anyway, there's a full chapter on the 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 foundations and the general principles of the prophetic. And I wrote this chapter, or this chapter came out of my reflection when I looked at my work in strategy for some of my clients. There's a particular client that I had. This is even in my project management work and business analysis work. I set up the PMO for them. That's the project management office, and we had a very interesting project that involved four vendors. There was for Ericsson, Alcatel Lucent, it was Telecom's brief, Ericsson, Alcatel Lucent, Huawei and ZTE, and it was in the core northern part of Nigeria. And I was a project manager at the PMO. We had about 2,000 sites nationwide, covering the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the time. And I remember we did project strategy sessions, and they were very amazing sessions. Everything worked on paper. But as we're nearing the end of the planning before we went into the execution phase of the project, I was sitting down and looking. One evening, it was raining. The driver was coming to pick me. The driver went to drop off some people, the company driver. And I was sitting right down looking at the war room, the project war room. In the war room, there's a big chart there. So I was looking at the wall, and I just knew it was a strong knowing. Remember, I have always operated in the gift of the prophetic from my teenage years. I knew there was a problem somewhere, but I didn't know what it was. I was looking and looking and looking, and all of a sudden, I heard the word integration. Now, when I heard the word integration, I interpreted that to mean project integration. Remember, I said there were four vendors. Having four vendors, anyone who knows telecoms very well, having four vendors would mean there are integration issues. And we had covered the interface and integration because it's going to be one seamless network. I mean, you can't make a call on an Ericsson server or an Ericsson switch and then doesn't get received on a Huawei switch. So we had covered all the interfaces, but I had integration. So I was looking at the plan, and as far as I was concerned, from a strategy point of view, from project strategy and implementation point of view, we had covered all the doors. But implementation started. Now, listen, that project failed only because of that word integration. The monies lost on that project was not less than about 4 million United States dollars. We had to go back because at that time, majority of the vendors in Nigeria used to operate solo, meaning it was mono. So it was either Ericsson alone or Huawei alone. In fact, Huawei and ZTE at that time were very new in the Nigerian economy. It was Alcatel Lucent and Ericsson that were the predominant names, those who know the telecoms industry in Nigeria. And I remember I jotted in my notes that words are different from meanings. The second statement in my reflection notes is that the map is not the territory. I would know many years later that that word is a superimposition I'd read somewhere before in what you call neuro-linguistic program. But before we go there, I mean, I wrote it down. The map is not the territory. Number two, words are not meanings. That you saw a word in core strategy does not mean you understand the word, and that word can still be your Achilles heel. This influenced the chapter on the meaning of blind spots and ethical blind spots and the pitfalls of modern strategy. You have that on page 12 and in chapter 1. The pitfalls of modern strategy and modern thinking in business. There are blind spots, and they are there. And your blind spots can be in your view. For example, you got the word, but what it represents symbolically, you didn't get it, and the thing still comes back to hit you. And that you can get to a new level of excellence by prophetic strategy. That's the next thing I wrote. And that prophetic strategy is useful in business and in any endeavor in life because it can help you connect the dots if you are slow enough to take that part of you. Some people call it gut instinct, some people call it intuition, but that was a brilliant moment of genius, and I still missed it. Of course, I went back, we look at the plans, but eventually we found out that there was a problem right there. And that since strategy is warfare, leadership should beware of thinking that they understand the territory, and that we can integrate the prophetic with modern strategies by adding principles like inquiry, by adding principles like discernment. We can do a lot. And there is a real cost to ignoring prophetic strategy, that you may think you've covered the ground, and that's how you can actually lose. So that was my lesson, and that was and that's the context, for example, of chapter 1, of part 1 of the material, and that part talks about prophetic strategy and the basics of it. Yeah, Michael, I've answered your question.
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
All right. So there's a soul behind each of the chapters. But thank you because I didn't write the opening story. I just went ahead and researched around my journal and I began to jot my experiences and then give solutions more than narrating my story. But thank you for asking that question. Hello, Eni, are you there? All right, Michael, let me ask you, have you had any experiences personally where you thought you understood something and a little nudge, for example, in the in insight or in the prophetic will have helped you? Any personal experiences? I guess, Michael, am I still audible?
Yes, you're still on. What
All
you
right.
people are still there, and you seem to have disappeared. It seems like maybe he's going to get some tea, or maybe he fell asleep.
I know Annie didn't sleep because working all night and also sent him some
Uh,
videos late. Any
yeah,
apologies
yeah.
for taking some of your sleep time off?
No, no, no apologies. I'm actually bright and up and awake. It's early in the morning over here. It's about 8 a.m.
All
What
right.
time is it over there?
It's 4:01 now, 4 p.m., 1 minute past 4 p.m. here in the United Kingdom.
You're in the United Kingdom.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, oh, yes. So I was asking a question that do you have moments where the prophetic has helped you personally, or you had a feeling something that could have been better if you had worked with the prophetic? Do you have those kind of examples in your journey? Before I share a
Uh,
second story.
in my life,
Yeah.
prophecy has come to me through music.
Oh wow,
Um,
that's powerful.
it is not, and I continuously search, try and understand my thought process, my living, um, and I get anecdotals um, through music, uh, and basically artists in music, uh,
Mm,
a whole genre of artists. It's not any one
mm,
type, but recently I've been listening. When we were going through COVID, I've been listening to a lot of house music, Afro music, and
mhm,
also amapiano
mm,
music as well. It is
mm,
the house music, the African Afro house music that was uh, combined with how should I say it with praise and worship to the Lord
yeah, yeah.
in a way or a manner that was most impactful
Mm,
in getting me through COVID,
mm,
and getting me through a situation or getting me to understand myself and understand others around me, or even the situation that I found myself in, because at the time I was also impacted with what they call DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis, and that's
oh my.
the blood clots in both legs developing,
Mm,
and it was acute and it was very large, very
oh
significant.
wow. Oh wow.
I had no extremely painful and not something that I would wish upon my enemy at all.
Oh wow.
And that is something that can also that is one of the leading causes of death here in the United States.
Oh my.
And this is, and largely is because of sedentary life, living a sedentary life. Come to find out later on. But I was lucky because I went to the emergency room twice to have it resolved. And first time, they seemed to have it resolved. Then it came back a couple of weeks later, and
Oh
it is
my.
some. So that basically taught me that it's not. It can come back. It's not one time that it goes away. If you're careless, if for some reason it was not done properly, it is something that can come back and kill you,
Oh my.
irrespective of what you do at the
Oh
hospital.
my.
So you have to watch it, and you have to be very aggressive in maintaining good habits that are conducive for your body, and understanding what your body is doing, and understanding what your what your body is doing, talking to it, um, gleaning, um, try to glean this into the spiritual side, bring the spiritual side of it, so that you can talk to the individual parts of the body,
Yep.
because they do communicate with each other, and they communicate with the brain. And for you
Wow.
not to be able to do that, that is, let's just say that that is an ability that people do have and can, uh, and the brain has the ability to control individual parts of the body, um, through extreme or very, or yeah, through extreme meditation. You can actually do that, um, to the extent that you can actually even take your own spirit out of your body and wander the world, float, in other words, throughout the world, and then come back. Not only that, you can also talk to other spirits, like the spirit of the tree, the spirit of the flower, the spirit of the environment, whatever is out there in the environment. You can actually communicate with it, and it can communicate back with you. And those, in terms of prophecies, I've been able to learn quite a bit, in terms of through music, and that's why I have it on throughout my day, because I am sifting through the words, I'm sifting through the emotions, I'm using my, emotional intelligence to understand what's actually going on, and to figure out who's communicating with me. The creator is whom I want to be talking to most of the time, so that I can better understand myself, better understand my condition, better understand others, better understand their condition, better understand how to resolve issues between ourselves as we continue. What are you up to? Are you jotting things down? I, I,
Yes,
I
yes,
know
yes.
that you're a chronologer, so I am actually now paying more attention to you with the chronology that's going on. I'm like, hey, this guy is chronology. Okay. But that's
Nikki,
okay. That's good.
y-
That's fine. You continue. I'm just,
yeah,
a little curious as to who you are and what you do. I'm
yes.
sorry. I did not intend
I'm,
to
no,
disturb
no,
you.
no, no. I'm jotting some very deep things down there. Some very deep stuff you're talking about that I would like to go research into a little bit deeper. And you said some things very powerful about the body, and how you can go out of yourself to look for solutions. And by the way, Nikki says she has some things to say, and I've sent DM to you, Nikki, to come into the studio. But Michael, please go on. I'm listening to you, and I'm noting your bigger points. I don't mind me. I'm just trying to jot
Hmm.
some things for future. I'll research them, and I have a few deeper questions, but not to you. Just me trying to understand what's going on.
Hmm. Yeah, in that respect, that's how I've been able um, to use prophecy, or uh, get close to prophetic communication. Um, and it does take that. I have to be real well into the mode, and it's sometimes I even have to, like for instance, this morning I just got up and there was this song that came up that indicated, praise him, and that basically, it's kind of okay, yeah, that's true. It, it's that particular song has been around for quite a while, but it is done a little differently this time with a different group, in a different manner, but the words are pretty much the same. But the impact, the way it hits you, is raw and unfiltered. and very um, possessive, because it possesses you for a moment while you're actually listening to it, and um, and asks you to pay attention to it. So you arrest your whole entire body in order to listen to it, and then you allow your body to actually blend with the music, and that's how you get to, dancing, and your heart calms down. In fact, my heart did calm down because I was in a little bit of a stress before I even started listening to that, and part of my side was hurting. But when the music came on, I calmed down, my breathing, calmed down, and then my body got out of that condition. And those are the types of things that happen during the course of the day as I am listening to music. Maybe running into some sort of physical ailment or issue that I cannot, for some reason, control, and I am trying to talk to my body to understand what's actually going on. And then the music comes along, puts me in a different environment, takes my mind um, to a place where I find serenity. And through serenity, my body calms down, the blood pressure goes down. It tends to solve whatever issue that I'm facing at that particular moment in time. And physical pain or struggle, and makes it easier. There are even times when it actually gives you a different, if you're struggling to make your mind up on something, it momentarily takes you out of that condition, and then once it's done, you put yourself back in it, and then voila, you found the solution. There's something um, poignant and positive with respect to that.
Mm,
um, Patience. It teaches you patience. Do not rush things. And that's, I got it out of music too. I don't, I patiently go through things. I attempt to actually patiently go through things. I know I have I'm like my dad, I'm very high strung and I want things done quickly. But with it, I'm able to calm myself down and reflect on patience, and employ patience to actually wait out and wait for a solution, as opposed to pushing and getting wrong results as a result of me pushing and trying to bend the world to my will aggressively, which should not be the case. You should be bending to the world and and flowing with it, because that's how we're built, that's how we're meant to be. We're from the earth. We're not, and the earth is what, maybe more than 70% water, and our bodies are the same way. So why aren't we like the earth, just flowing with the, the earth has survived for so long, just being able to flow um, with the universe, to tick with the universe. So we should do the same, and we should come to an understanding that that is our purpose in life as well. Another purpose in life that we should add to a list of things to do.
I agree with you. And being able to tune in into ourselves,
Mm,
it's a very important part of our beings because there are lot of solutions also within us. In
mm,
addition to this, we also need to find a way of, aligning with the divine. And I like the
mm,
angle that you actually took this to, which has to do with you being able to, um, you know, heal yourself. There's a lot of science, a lot of scientific thinking around healing, that the body heals itself, and that what you have in the hospitals and what the doctors do is a matter of care. And then you have statements like, we care, but God heals. And you have some other maxims like, we care, God heals, and then you also heal, meaning It's a combination of all those forces working together. Well, although the trust of the work of the prophetic ecosystem and dynamics have to do with um, synchronizing God's plan and God's insights into the work of our hands. In chapter 2, for example, I wrote about prophetic innovation. I said it's the process of receiving divine revelation to guide the creation of solutions, products, and strategies. Unlike conventional innovation, which depends on data research and trial and error, prophetic innovation taps into God's limitless knowledge, and it provides fresh, original insights. And that's what you're saying, Michael. It provides fresh, original insights and ideas that have the power to transform lives and businesses in ways that only human ingenuity alone cannot achieve. And so, thank you for sharing that. It's a very powerful pointer. In essence, prophetic innovation allows us to access wisdom far greater than what's immediately visible. Uh, Michael, are you okay? I can hear you breathing, though you're breathing slightly heavily. Are you okay?
Yes, yes, I am okay.
All right.
It's just the mic is just around my nose. That's about it.
That's okay.
And it's picking up my regular breathing, and it sounds like as if it's heavy, but it's not heavy. It's just
All right.
me breathing
Uh,
normally.
Normally, all right.
And I do apologize for that. Every once in a while, I forget that that's what I'm doing. Um,
That's okay. It's okay to breathe.
yeah, I'm just trying to stay alive. That's
we, we,
about
all-
it.
we all have to breathe.
Yeah, that is
But
true. That is true. And
yes,
I'm
by
glad
the
that you
way,
picked it up, which means that it's working.
I just, I mean, I was just worried. I hope you're not lying on the wrong side, or,
Mm-mm,
I'm also a
mm-mm.
very sensitive person.
No, no. I'm actually just calmly standing and taking everything that you're saying in. And I have to also add, um, there's some additions that I wanted to add.
Go
The
on, please.
there's certain things like, for instance, we talked about, and I don't know if you've actually even delved into this, electromagnetic waves and
Yeah,
frequencies.
yeah.
And also, you also must understand that sound comes from electromagnetic waves and frequencies.
Hmm,
And that's all around the earth. It actually flows through and through and around the earth, and through our bodies as well. So imagine they have imagine there have been some particles that actually respond to different types of frequencies and different types of sound. So each sound has a frequency. We think that it's elemental, and we think that the only thing that we hear is the only thing that exists, and that is not true. There are also types of frequencies that we do not hear, and those are the types of frequencies that also exist. And that
yeah.
is why there is a lot more going on in the electromagnetic sphere beyond our sight that we need to delve and understand, uh, and we can only go down that direction or into that direction if we are spiritually aligned with the earth and spiritually aligned with our thought processes, and on top of that, spiritually aligned with the wealth and knowledge of our ancestors, because they in turn have also discovered what we are about to what we are about to discover or rediscover, should I say. Um, it's it's the knowledge that has been there before. It's knowledge that has been applied before. It's just been forgotten. And the, I can't say necessarily forgotten, but I should say it's buried within the recesses of our genes. Um, and that is where there is more to and maybe I should say that there is more to memory than we can actually than we actually know to date. Um, each pocket, I believe that each pocket of our gene holds a specific type of memory, or more memory than we can ever get to figure out in a lifetime. But that particular memory, um, those particular, if we are able to tap into that sphere of those sphere of memories, we'll find a whole new world in which we are in, and we'll find a better understanding of where we are with respect to the world and how to utilize and cope, or well, how to make our lives better, or how to make our purpose on this earth better. Understand that better and know where we need to go and the direction that we need to go, with respect to the amount of time that we currently have, the limited amount of time that we currently have living on this earth,
Mm.
or on this plane. Uh, we, I contend that we do not die ever. We're spiritual beings we currently find ourselves in a body, on earth. And beyond this body, and when we die, there is something else. We do not die at all. Um, we either come back again, and the only reason we probably come back again is because we have not fulfilled our purpose. Um, if we have fulfilled our purpose, we just go and stay in a different plane and continue from then on, from that plane onwards. The planes intersect. They do not they merge, but they do not interfere with each other. Except there has been, but we do have the ability to transfer our spirits from plane to plane to plane to plane. That is what I talk about when I say, we're able to, um, through meditation, we're able to do that. That has been proven time and time again. And I think there was one gentleman who was not the last gentleman to do this, but who actually disappeared from his body without
You've
dying.
totally lost me, Michael. You've lost me. One, your phone sounds very quiet, Michael, so it's very hard to hear you properly.
Are you having a hard time hearing me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, and
mm,
I also wanted I also wanted to interject so that we can focus on
okay,
the
go
because
ahead.
Michael is opening up different dimensions of depth of the conversation so that we can be
Yep.
focused, so that we can be focused on because some of the things you're saying require some depth of we don't have enough time in this short interaction to really dig deep into them. A couple of things, yes, you're right, there's a lot of intelligence in our genes, and it's so powerful, and this is the way I explain it to people. That's because man fell. It's apparent our capabilities were created very heavy, which is one of the reasons why this book was written, that we can reconnect back and get that back and get that original essence of how we created before we fell, and then be able to leave the world in a better place and space because we have a limited time. And number two, our time is being filled with complex problems. We are facing very heavy, heavy issues. Humanity, for the first time, is facing some daunting stuff. And beyond the realms of science and what science can say, there's a lot of spiritual intelligence embedded inside us, especially when we connect with the divine. This is the point. And that a lot of us have it inside us, not just some set of people. Once you're a human being, these capabilities are already inside us, and we can do a lot with it. I'll let Nikki speak. Nikki is my very good friend. Took a while to come in. Anyway, welcome back. Woo. Okay. Okay. Dr. Olare is asking for link for the book purchase. Yes, Dr. Olare is a mentor,
Yeah.
revered mentor.
Leave that with me. I'll deal with that now, Doctor. I'll send that to your
And
DM.
please, Emmy, help me send Dr. Olaore the link to come to the studio. He's a professor. I
Yeah.
know him for many years.
Okay. Right. Let me sort out Dr. Israel first, and then Nikki, the mic is yours. How you doing?
Nikki, hello.
Joyful morning. Hello, how are you?
Oh,
I'm
better,
good.
better
I'm
for hearing
good.
your voice. Better for having you on stage as well.
Likewise, always. So, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
perfectly.
Okay, great. So thank you for allowing me on the panel to share. I really appreciate it. So, I am someone who always considers the economy, um, industrial and economic changes within society, especially American society, right? Along with cultural differences when it comes to the financial dynamics. And one thing I have known since my early 20s, one thing I realized since I would say my mid 20s is that for someone like myself and the future generations, Social Security would not be available to us. And it didn't matter how it was going to come across, how it was going to diminish, but I was very intuitive about that. And as well as, I would say, a need for people to take some kind of control and preparation for themselves in some manner, right? And so here we are in the technology era and the land of AI and different changes where a lot of people are now really beginning to realize that their dependence on the possibilities and and what they deserve, a righteous entitlement not being available, or in somewhat of a panic state overall, in general, in a panic state, right? And yet, semi, if not completely fearful of change and transitioning to technology, AI, and finding different opportunities for them, or should I say, creating different opportunities for themselves. And I think that now this is the perfect time for people to not try to operate from a panic mode, but to calm down so that they can really take a scope of things with a less reactive mind and be proactive with their energy, their time, and their resources, right? So I'm very grateful to learn about your book because I think that, now I think, I believe that a book like yours supports the thoughts of myself and others who have similarly prepared or saw preparations for times like this and thinking ahead in the future. Because among our peers, a lot of times you're met with so much opposition, and you can feel like, well, you're not can't feel like, but you are thought about as an outlier, a conspiracy theorist, mm, maybe even a hopeful person with thought cause, right? And so books like yours help support conversations among peers to say, hey, you know what? Maybe you don't see what I see, but someone across the globe saw the same thing. Thank you.
Coach. Well, no, Coach fell off the stage. That's why. Nikki, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened there. So I seem to have lost Coach somewhere. Hopefully, he will rush back. Dr. Israel, I just sent you the link in that from Sales Navigator. So the link to buy the book is there. Coach, come back, come back, come back. Nikki, how are you doing? Have you bought the book yet, Nikki? Nikki?
Yes, I just ordered the book a few minutes ago, actually.
Excellent. Please send me a confirmation so I can add you to the prize draw.
Okay.
All right. Look, no, I guess I wasn't listening intently, but it sounded like your comment was deep as always. Well, I think when it comes to Coach David, we want him to get into deep thought, deep thinking, to see and sort of understand where he's coming from on the book. So what do you say, Nikki? What's your take? I think I saw your comment. Now's the time to start, futurist thinking. Thinking of the future ecosystem.
So my take is this, that there is no better time than the present
Mm.
for people to prepare, create their own ecosystem, their own resources without being dependent on systems.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. Of course. Well, I guess the different schools of thought, aren't there? Of course, gathering our resources. It makes sense. And that's we live in the days of technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying so. I think there's a need for us to almost de-automate, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Become more human, become more, become more of, of our capabilities. I think that's what Coach talks about half the time. How how we need to be the clever ones, not the machines. I guess
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking we seem to have this dependency on machines that I think is getting worse, not lighter. If that makes sense.
Right.
So
Right.
I
And
could
I
agree
think
with go on, sorry.
no, it's okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Mm. I think we could do better by being less automated and I mean the systems we need really is a people system. We need to really form better relationships. We need to be
Yes.
more into our human characteristics. And so I think our human characteristics is not so technology dependent. It is more about just it's the simple things in life, right?
Yes.
I would say our future, whether we like it or not, comes down to almost so de-automating, so simplifying our life, coming back to the basics. The basics is having the dream, having that childlike thinking that we were born with. I say my fear is that we seem to have got this all wrong. As we get
Yeah,
older, we seem to be going more towards what we're not. We seem to be going against our human nature. I'm sure it sounds weird, but I think we need to get back to the simplest form of living, which is just live and just build relationships with people, just by simply loving humanity, nothing
Yes.
else. Everything else
yeah,
the gods will take care of us from there on in.
yeah, yeah,
Right now, we're very good at trying to force things because we have goals, we have wishes, but in reality, nothing matters apart from simply being. Then not, we just have to be who we are, and that's we're very simple beings deep down,
yeah,
you know. And then we'll
yeah.
complicate the picture. Coach, we lost you for a second. I'm glad you're back.
Yes, thank you. I was about to respond to Nikki. Nikki, that was a
Please
very
carry on.
important. That was a very important point right there. Welcome, Professor Laure. Prof, I would like you to also come to the studio to share one or two stuff. I'll talk about Prof in a bit. You see, Nikki, brass tags, let me say this. I work as a futurist, and I'm sorry for being definite. I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. Some people will not like it, but the world is heading for a crash.
Mm.
Shall I say that again? Number one,
No,
I said, I'm sorry, I'm about to be very blunt. I work as a
mm,
futurist. Apart from the spiritual planes, I have capacity also in the secular planes. I've just written a book on the financial systems of the world. It's called FinTech Black Box. It's also on Amazon. Eddie and I are working on it, FinTech Black Box. That's what we're launching today, by the way. This talks, a black box suggests that a disaster has happened. Listen, we are getting ready for another disaster in the financial systems of the world. How do you know you're about to crash? When your regulator or the police or the people who maintain law and order cannot even explain what's going on. What's happening to money is that governments used to control it, now is falling into the hands of individuals and government entities. We are having a reset like we had of the Medicis in the middle medieval ages when banking started. Now, so you're right, Nikki. You're not weird. It's even strange that someone your time and season could even altogether think this way. I salute you for having the courage to tell your mates, but just like the days of Noah, a storm is coming, and few people are ready. Something heavy is brewing. People are taking power is changing hands. The systems and the structures that control the earth are changing hands, and it's happening in broad daylight. It's not happening behind the scenes, it's happening right in front of everyone. And the courage to be, the courage and the freedom to act, the courage to respond as you would in a changing world is being taken off the middle class table. Poor people were the ones who used to be the ones that could not take care of themselves. We need new ways for dealing with our problems. You got to have bigger insight. You have to become a genius. The coming future is about to get tougher. This noise about AI, people will lose their jobs. Human beings must become stronger. And when we say become stronger, that's not about even being the superb of the most superb. It means new adaptive ways of thinking. And we cannot avoid what's about to hit us. And this kind of book and this kind of material has come to prepare us. You can see my pen. I jotted all while Michael was speaking. I was jotting, I was cross-referencing notes. Probably that's why my system was hanging. Because I'm a student of the future. I'm studying the future. There are new bodies of intelligence we would need that people are not even aware of. For example, liminal intelligence. And that's not to sound high. The ability to cope in gray areas, the ability to cope in anxiety, uncertainty, and fear, yet thrive. Anti-fragile capacities, the ability to go through storms and come out stronger. All of those capacities are the kind of things that the world would need. And people don't even know anything. Our educational system is still what we delivered to help us with the Abraham Maslow industrial era, which was Henry Ford's revolution, the hierarchy of needs. What's about to hit us is big. And you're very correct. It's very big. We will need new ways of thinking. We need new paradigms. We need new tools. We need new ways of innovation. The days of another kind of farming are near as it was in the olden days. So you're spot on. Thank you. You are not, don't be apologetic about it. You're not a doomsday lawyer or a doomsday person. You're right. You're spot on. The reason is because you are a superior in quote. You are an enlightened, gifted soul. So you
mm,
can feel the wind before the rain begins to fall. And that's something to be grateful to God for. And so that you can prepare your family and your friends for the coming tide. Like in the days of Noah, people were laughing. In the days of Noah, they say a storm is coming, they were laughing. But
Yes.
God, God called Noah into that role. Some people have been called in different spheres of influence to preserve humanity from what's about to hit us. It's not going to be business as usual. The days coming, there's some interesting things about to happen. Thank you for that. I know you want to
Yes.
make some other comments.
And I would like to also say that I remember even sharing with people that there is an agenda to eradicate, eliminate the middle class.
Yes,
And that in our time, in our generation, we will see the haves and the have nots. I
Hmm.
was a conspiracy theorist. I was, oh, that won't, if it does happen, we won't be here for it. So it's not our responsibility to even really care about it. And now here we are, where some of the same people that I've had these conversations with are in this panic mode, or are always complaining about finances. And not that we should not be aware of what is happening, or not even notice the difference and conversate and discuss it, but it's when you only discuss it from a sense of victimhood, entitlement, and disempowerment, right? And hopelessness. We cannot rely on governments or world financial infrastructures that never cared or never intended to fully care and provide for its people, to protect its people's financial futures. That is a false and unrealistic expectation. Would it be nice? Yes. Would it be great? Yes. But should it be expected? No, it should not. And it should be met with resistance out of a plan and unity versus complaining and panic.
I agree. I agree. I agree. And we ought to, the future is coming, and we ought to prepare. There are two kinds of people. And Nikki, you're a leader, and you spoke like a leader, one who prepares the people for the future that is coming. There are two kinds of people: those who will make the future happen, and those who will watch the future happen. And I dare say those who won't even know that something has happened. You hit it right on the head. We must redistribute wealth. We must create new wealth. We must work across the spheres of human influence. I did a video yesterday where I asked a question. Now, are you going to train the towel because the world's about to get tougher? What will you tell your children and your children's children, that you train the towel at the right time or at the wrong time? Are you going to give up based on the realities of what's about to hit the world? Look, it's already in the IMF documentation. It's in public domain now. The populations of the earth are about to be reduced. The incidence of poverty is about to be increased. The current tax regimes all across the world is geared towards ensuring that the middle class is removed from the wealth equation. So you're right, Nikki. You are totally spot on. And I'm happy you're speaking like this. And every person who is young and even old people should actually pay attention to what Nikki is saying. The same people who were telling you just a few years ago that you are too pessimistic, it will happen in your day, they are now shouting. Now we need new Noahs. We need new acts of safety. We need human beings who will be like the Moses of old. We need new Josephs. We need Daniels. You see, I believe that there should be an arising out of Zion. Zion does not mean the Bible or Israel alone. Zion means in your office, in that your shipping industry, in that your organization, there needs to be new leaders who will preserve the future of humanity. This is what this book is about. And this is my heart cry. This is what this book is about. It's about creating the new leaders of the future who would
Yes.
help us across strategy, innovation, leadership, risk management. By the way, let me give you a second doomsday prediction. There is going to be a global cyber hack or security crash between 2025 and 2035, where Google Drive will not work, where
Mm-hmm.
Amazon will not work, everything will crash.
Mm-hmm.
Cybercrimes all over the world have said it. On that day, what will you, because a lot of us cannot get from home to market, from home to office. or from home to the bedroom, or from the living room to the bedroom without Google Maps. When I was younger, there was no preponderance of the internet in Nigeria. I had to know the roads. If you live in a city, but a lot of us are so dependent on technology now. So a day is coming. If anything happens to those things, ladies and gentlemen, we're in trouble. Human beings, I give that metaphor and that joke to say we're getting weaker and we are depending on technology more. And the day is coming, as a cyber futurist, there is already prediction on the table that we are heading for one global hack. You saw what happened during the CrowdStrike event. That's a child's play. Everything will one day crash. What would you do then? So we need human beings who are ready, who have been given the brief to become saviors, people who will be able to be solution providers in their own respective spheres of influence. This is what the book is about. And again, forgive me, for just a less than $1, you can get the Kindle edition today till tomorrow morning. Call everyone who is your family and your friends to tell them to go get the book. They may not be able to read the full book, it's very thick, but at least they can read the chapter. But if you're in innovation, go read the chapter in innovation. If you are in supply chain, go read the chapter on supply chain. If you are in business process engineering, go read the chapter on business process engineering. But don't ignore this movement. Don't
Mhm.
ignore this legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading for the days of Noah. Nikki, I'll let you speak.
Okay, great. And so I would like to, and thank you, and you were spot on. And it's funny that you would say, not funny, it's very ironic that you would say what you just said, because a partner and I were having this exact conversation on yesterday about the upcoming cyber hack. Like, we literally were just talking about this about 2 nights ago and following up on yesterday. So, something else I would like to add to this is this: as long as we are focused on our financial predicament and the instability of the economic system within our government systems, we will not remain on purpose for God's intention for our lives, which is a satanic device. And to add to that is, we then become a fakeness generation that will only repeat the history of the Israelites not trusting God, falling into the beliefs and the dynamics and the pressure of the leaderships, steady seeking more leaderships, only to make those leaders the God, your true God, because you begin to operate more intensely out of your own will and their and your dependence on them versus trusting and seeking the Most High God. Now, I don't expect the worldly people, I don't expect you to seek God first. I don't. What I expect from worldly people is to do as the world does. I expect worldly people to not have a solid ground foundation in God, to trust God or to seek God first. When I expect the world to panic, I expect the world to operate in fear. That's what I expect that of them. I expect the world to operate in complete uncertainty. But my desire, and I'm not just talking at anyone, I'm also continuously talking to myself. My objective is to encourage those who say you know God, who say you believe in God, is to increase your faith regardless to what it looks like, to trust God more regardless to what it looked like, to seek God's divine wisdom regardless of what it looks like, and to act on purpose intentionally for the kingdom, regardless of what it looks like.
That all sounds like having serious faith, right? It sounds like
Yes,
having serious belief.
yes, yes.
Um,
And you know, we need that level of belief, Annie. And thank you for pointing that out. We need heavy belief in the coming days. There's a lot of systems issues that will require faith to solve them. We can't even dare to provide those solutions without belief. We must be, the word believe is be, live, or be alive. Believing requires to be in a state. We must be in a state of possibilities thinking, for example, to begin to look for solutions for the future. If you don't feel that you'll be alive in the future, you probably will just start crossing trains, doing bad habits, taking drugs, believing that you're going to be out of the room. So the first thing there is believe. And the systems of this world are actually structured for you to less believe. They are structured for you to just go to work, take a little pay, don't question government. And one of the reasons why money is being taken away, Nikki, is to reduce people's self confidence and weaken the base of belief systems. Because when the state of belief systems are weak, then you don't have the temerity to even hope for something different. And it's hope that makes not ashamed. Hopeless people will feel ashamed even when there's no reason for shame. So Annie, you're very correct. There is a P&L factor for belief, and finance and money. Tying it back to the point that Nikki was making, is a neat way to weaken a people's beliefs. Once you rob a people or a person of their belief system, and that's why the statement, "Do not cast away your confidence that has a great recompense of reward." When your backbone has been taken out of the room, it's difficult for you to even dare to find solutions. And the belief system rests many times for a lot of people on their ability to meet their needs. Once they can't meet their needs properly, they don't hope, they don't even want to dare anything big anymore. They are just okay to be living. Just okay to be living as the days go by. What this kind of book does for you is to give you alternative intelligence, alternative structure, so that you can actually collect your worth and be relevant in the coming future. I'll give the mic again to Nikki and welcome. I think we have a new guest. Good to see you. My system is hanging a little bit. I don't know why.
yeah, you mean Selena? Selena just bought her copy and sent the receipts.
Yes,
So
Selena. How are you, Selena?
let's talk to you.
Yeah,
No, yeah, Selena, talk to us. Selena,
Selena, how
you're
are
on
you?
mute. You're on mute. I don't know whether you can hear us. It doesn't look like you can hear us. Let me find out what. Can you hear us, Selena? No, I don't think you can hear.
Oh, the audio. Sorry about that.
So whilst we're waiting, Dr. Israel, please don't forget to send a receipt, right? Don't forget to send a receipt when you do buy the book. Who else do I see? Dr. Joshua, I see you as well now. Welcome. Welcome. So glad you're here. You've been here a while. Uh, Oyin Khan. Oh, something those names are long, Doctor. Coach, those names very, very long, right? I can't pronounce that long Nigerian names. I get all
Who,
confused after a while.
whose name is long?
Um, Oyin Kanshola Emmanuel.
Oh, Oyin Consola. Oyin Consola.
Yeah, that's a long name, whether you like it or not, right? Thank you for joining us. Glad you're here. Temi Tokwe, welcome as well. Thank you for joining us. It says,
May I
exactly.
interject again?
Of course you can. Of course
while,
you can.
while we wait for one of the other speakers to get themselves ready?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mike is yours.
So I would like to also say that it is okay for a believer to express fear, um, uncertainty, shock. Um, it is completely okay. In that, take all of that to the Most High and ask, acknowledge that with Him because He's fully aware already anyway. But part of the benefit of this relationship is having open communication, direct access to open communication. So taking that to Him and asking Him to increase your faith, help your unbelief, such as they did in the biblical days. We are living our own biblical days with our relationship with the Most High.
Yep. Yes, I agree. I agree. There's something that comes to mind. The Lord is my light and my salvation. So anytime there's a crisis, take it to the Lord. Like for me, I take my career to the Lord, and that's how this book came about. I have my journal. When I go through experiences, like many times, I saw this thing, I got this revelation. How come the event still happened? I have my experiences with risk management. I have my experiences with creativity. I'm a creativity coach. I have my experiences with my clients. And over 30 years, I can give you clear examples that people on the call will bear witness to some of the deep experiences that I mean, a few days ago, there's a guy called Emeka. He's probably on the call or listening to this, who were talking together, and I gave him some counsel, and the counsel is paying off very strongly. Not me, but by God's grace, and as a steward of God's gift over my life. What's the bigger point? When you carry those things to God, there is a solution. When you take those signals to God, even the things that worked well, some of the stories bettered this book, and the ones that didn't work well, I always carry them to the Lord. Today it's become this book.
Mhm.
I take time to reflect what worked. I mean, since I met Annie, let me tell you, I've learned so many things. And I can situate that in my experience. It was a friend, Dr. Amaka, a coach too, and she said to me, look, you've written books. This is your fourth book. She said, amazing. There's someone called Annie you should meet. And I met Annie, and Annie said, let's go this direction. You see, the scripture says, I've been on the way the Lord led me. So don't only take your fears to God, take your victory. And the ones that are not, the ones that are in between. Because within your victory is the seed for another victory and another victory. So not just the fears alone. And for me, it's a tangible relationship. In the coming days, we would need the Lord more for believers and even unbelievers, the planet. And by the way, the Bible, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like a preacher, but you see, you are the light of the world, the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world, you are the salt of the earth. A city that is set upon the hill that cannot be hidden. A man cannot light a candle only to hide it under the bushel. One Christian was called the light of the world. One Christian was called the salt of the earth. One Christian was called the light of the world. One Christian was called the salt of the earth. All right. So everyone who is a believer to actually take the matter up. Thank you for that. For that, that's very important, Nikki. Please go ahead.
No, no, no. You're absolutely correct, right? And something to remember too is that no one said it was going to be easy. And if they did, they lied. Period. No one said it's going to be easy, but if anyone did tell you that, they lied. And if you thought it would be easy, well then just come to go ahead and come to face the reality that not only is it not easy, but it will not become easier. The challenge is being committed to hold on, knowing that it's not going to get easier or be easy. We're going to have, even if you have the best ecosystem put in place for yourself, if you're here long enough, you're not going to miss the opportunity to either stand with God and lose it all or accept the programmatic mark and lose your soul.
Hmm. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. You're right. At the end of the day, it's either you're on God's side or the other side. And like we said, in the days of Noah, many people doubted. Animals entered, man doubted. Animals entered, man doubted. Animals entered, man doubted. And we know the story. Some floods are coming. And by the way, I saw Nikki has purchased the book FinTech Black Box.
Yeah.
That's not what
Oh,
we're. That's not
wow.
what. Yeah, she's done that. She's done that. This book contains secrets that central bank governors wish that you don't hear about. And I'm not joking. I'm going to. It's a broken down material. I got inspiration to write it. Dr. Joshua, I've sent the link on the general chat now. I hope you see it. I'd like to hear your perspective. But like in the days of old, we are in trouble if we don't find new systems and structures. And thank
Yeah.
you for that. Yep,
Look,
go.
Dr. Awesome, Dr. Joshua is in the studio now, so I can relax a
Doctor.
bit. Um,
Ah,
and maybe K, welcome. Celine, I'm going to come to you next. Celine says you can hear us now, so I'll come to you next. That's all right.
welcome,
Oh,
Selena. Good to
is
have
my
you here.
screen frozen? My screen is frozen.
Sorry
Hello,
about that. Yes, Selena, how are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, good, 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 good. I'm here.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you were writing this book, were there ever
Yeah.
times when you doubted yourself or you doubted
At,
that God is talking to you?
at some point, you remember this is a 30-year chronicle of my different experiences in
Yeah.
different areas and consulting experience I've had. So yeah, there were times that, like I said, it was after the fact that I knew that. So that was God speaking to me. Oh, so that was a mistake right there. Oh, a lot of that in my experience. In fact, that helped me to journal. In fact, the most difficult ones and painful ones were the ones who I got the warning and I thought I understood it, and yet the thing happened as I saw it. So it was apparent that I didn't get it, and I thought
Mm,
I got it, but I did not. So
mm,
I don't want someone else to learn by those experiences. I'd like them to learn by having a much more deeper presence of mind that don't play with divine signals. They are real and they are powerful and they are with us every day.
mm,
Yes, yes, yes. I had a lot. When I was writing the book, when it got to a particular place, I was like, "Am I sure?" Then I read the experiences again, and I went back to the book. Then my faith went up. But I remember there was one point there was that doubt. And
mm,
the other thing that helped me is that I have a lot of friends who are in my network, and I've also trained a lot of people in the prophetic. And so the experiences mirror. When you teach people and they now narrate their experiences to you, this gives you a lot of confidence. And some people on the chat who they've actually had a lot of experiences with me, loads of them. I mean, a friend was driving his car in Lagos, and I told him, "Can you please park your car and let the mechanic check it?" Lo and behold, there was something going on. If you had driven that car for 5 more minutes, there will have been a very massive accident. Loads of those kind of things just give you confidence. Yeah, 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 yeah.
mm.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Wow. Well, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you so much,
I
Selena.
just
Thank you so
bought
much.
my copy. I'll enjoy reading it.
Oh wow! Oh, lovely, lovely. What do you do, by the way? There are different parts of the book. There is innovation, leadership, creativity, supply chain, and how the prophetic works with all of those things. Risk management, strategy is a long list.
Oh, okay. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach.
Good, good. You find a lot in human behavior. There's how to use prophetic insight to decode human behavior and help your clients better. There's strategy. There's the chapter on supply chain. There's chapter on wealth generation. There are a lot of things in the book that at least anyone who buys the book will have at least 7 areas of personal applicability, minimum, if not
Mhm.
all, of what you do.
Oh, wow. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Adedoton says, believe in the Lord and you shall be saved, believe in his prophets and you will prosper. Yes, absolutely. 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 Thank you for that, Adedoton. Thank you, Selena. Although I have a
Okay.
question for you, Selena. Before Dr. Awesome, I see you. Good to see you. Before we come to you, let me just speak to Selena. Are there times when you had very difficult clients and it was your intuition that helped you rather than the hardcore knowledge you had?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. What do you want to share with us one or two of such experiences?
No, I mean, it was just like something which was personal. When
Mm,
I thought the doctors are healing me, and
yeah.
then God spoke to me and say, "I'm already healed." And
Wow.
honestly, I was dying, and I was almost going through a tunnel. And I could
Wow.
see, because when you are dying, you can see yourself going. And so I
Wow.
could see myself going through the tunnel. Then the Lord
Wow.
said to me, "What are you waiting for? You're already healed." And I laughed. I said, "God, you've got a terrible sense of humor. How can I be healed when I am dying because I couldn't feed myself? I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't wash myself. I couldn't even help myself to go to the bathroom." So when the Lord said that, I was really like surprised. But in the following morning, my daughter had given up a job to look after me in and out of hospital. She used to come 10 o'clock to wash me and feed me for breakfast. Then she would stay until about, go to prepare lunch, come back with the lunch, then goes again to prepare supper, and she would come. So she had to give up a job. So when she came that day, was I heard this saying midnight, after 12 midnight. So when she came in the morning and she saw that, things are changing because healing starts inside. So when it comes out, people can see that something is happening. So when she came and she says, "Mom, something has changed. What is it? Do you want to share?" And I was laughing. I said, "I heard this voice saying I'm already healed, but it's so funny because look at me." Then at least, I had brought her well. She was a staunch Christian and so on. She said, "Yes, Mom, God is on our side. So let's not be afraid. So let's look and listen to what He wants us to do." And that changed everything. Even what the doctors were telling me, it's like I started laughing at them because I knew that it was not for them for me to be healed. I was not even in control, but God was. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Wow. That's deep. That's deep. You were not in control, but God was. That's very deep. Right, Emmy, over to you.
I like this by Ramontele. I think it's going along your point, Coach.
Yeah,
And so Jocelyn is saying, it's right. Believe in these spiritual powers, right?
yeah.
Believing in our prophecy rather than our hard work and strategy and process. Yeah, I like that. What's the other? What's another one? As you was, you can see that, right? And Appeal Lua has bought the book as well. So thank you for buying the book and sending me confirmation. I'm so glad you're here. So I say, as you were speaking, remind me of my mentor. So I sent your book details to him, and guess what? He knows you. He's the
Oh, wow.
catalyst of Ray Olushala. What a small
Wow.
world.
Small
Indeed,
world.
indeed. Emeka, welcome as well. Thank you for joining us. So glad you're here. I mean, well, look, when someone's called Dr. Awesome, how can I not want to hear him? Of course, I want to hear him. Dr. Awesome, talk to us. I love your name. I just love that. Talk to us.
It's great day. Greetings to you all. And first and foremost, thank you, Annie, for the kind invite. My friend, my colleague, my confidant, Coach David. Today, this weekend is your day and weekend. I just wanted to pause to celebrate you. Thank you for your consistency. Um, I think it's important for us as human beings to pause to celebrate people. Many people like, to celebrate only when people have passed on. So I wanted to do that first. And I think it's important. Annie, you were saying, how would you not want to speak with me? My name is Awesome. Ah, I represent a generation. Awesome means activating wonderful experiences. So, one, that's me first. And then others may enjoy. That's what I wake up to do on a daily basis. That's what I've done the last 25 years. That's what I hope to do until I'm 110. That's the age I want to be able to exit the planet. But more importantly, as I was listening to some of the insights that were emerging from the inner landscape of my dear friend, Coach David, as we're talking about thrive. The, the truth for me is no one can thrive until they have first and foremost been tested. Um, and it is your testing that gives you the capacity, the capability, the inner resilience to then have the moral rights to claim that you're able to thrive. Um, I am sitting in my lounge right now and I'm taking a position because I still have a 1% recovery journey from a spinal cord injury. And I know what it means to truly thrive. This sofa that I'm sitting on has history locked within it. It can tell a story of how typically in the past I would move from this position and get to my bathroom in 1 minute or less, to moving from position and not being able to get to the bathroom in 2 hours, and then turning back to return back to this position for another 2 hours. So to have a depth of understanding of
Yeah.
what thrive truly means, you would need to be tested first. And preparation time is never wasted time. The need to read so we can lead is very important. And everyone who is on this call, I encourage you, please treasure the access you have to certain insights, because they are so important. Because the days you will not have the energy, the strength to grab a book, to call a person, it is the development and the inner resilience that have been locked into your inner landscape that will help you to treasure this moment. Thank you.
Very well said.
I'm always concerned when people have names that are commonly used words, so to speak, right? Awesome. I keep saying awesome. I better stop saying that, right? Because now you're here, Dr. Awesome. I better stop saying that. And the other one, in case you're wondering, they're thinking, which other one can any possibly know? in England, we'll say a lot of all that malarkey. Yeah, all that malarkey, right? We know what it means. I've got a friend called Michelle Malarkey, and she just does not like people who keep saying malarkey constantly. You know, of course, I'm any, and you know, it must. I hear any a million times a day, right? So you know, I'll learn to adapt my language accordingly. But beautifully said, though. Beautifully said, sir. I'll let you know. Thanks, Nikki. The man deserves a round of applause for for his comments and for I guess for his endeavor and for his insights. Coach, let me give you the mic. Let me stop talking.
Yeah. Can I say something about Dr. Osam and I knew each other more than 20 years now. We actually met the first time there about year 2000, 2001 in a place called My Two Estate in Lagos. Dr. Osam had this morning routine and he had a morning exercise. He would shout. He has this morning PT about 6 a.m. to 6:30. Then he will run. I'll be watching from my window. Like, is this guy, how can somebody be? He will make a kind of noise. Wah! Then he will run. Then he will shout. So I'm always looking at him during my devotion that there are people in this world. Which one is this one again? Then, by a stroke of chance, one day I was walking on the road. Then we started talking. He tried to call me into the running thing, but the shout was what made me and it was the area I live. Before they start looking at me as someone that's also not normal. I said, but we became friends. We used to talk a lot. We did some training with, I think, what's that bank now? There were 2 or 3 banks we consulted for together in Lagos in the early 2000s. Then we did some work in the northern part of Nigeria, 2006, 7, 8. We traveled Jos, Bauchi State. Dr. Awesome is a super wonder. We worked together, then we reconnected again, I think about 2010, 2012. He moved into SA, and here we are. He's a super wonder all the time, a confidant and a brother. And there's something he said. We must treasure the insights we have. Like I said to us, the nations of the earth are headed for some crash. Look, there's some heavy things going on. Those that know. You can't afford to not have insight on your side. You can't afford to not have inside scoop of the conversations running the nations of the earth. Look, there are deep stuff. And if you're going to be a leader, you can't afford, like Mickey said the other time, there are people who are talking and saying also, so no, this conspiracy theory, fifth columnist agenda, and they are beginning to complain of money. There's a conspiracy to make the middle class disappear. You must tap into superior intelligence to live within the ecosystems of the world. One of the problems of the middle class is that the systems of this world are programmed the middle class to fight and clash with each other and never to collaborate, because the day you collaborate and get collaborative intelligence, you're going to break the supremacy of those systems. And there's a system in place to fight this kind of bodies of knowledge and ensure that it never comes mainstream. Within us is significant amount of capacity if we can tune to the grace of God in our lives. I have several stories. There are people on the call here or in the room. I've seen some of them who can give you experiences they've had of the quality of counsel that God gave us or we received by divine insights, and that unlocked for them deeper levels of possibilities. It's a big thing. Dr. Awesome, good to see you. Thank you, Selena, for your. As Selena was saying the other time, that God can come and give you a contrary view to the view of the systems of this world. And that view may be all you need for life. You can't afford to stay and sit with the systems of this world alone. You need divine perspectives to the issues of your life. And that's what Nikki said. And I added the other time to say, you need divine perspectives to the good, the bad, the ugly, the best, and all, because something bigger is going on in the systems of the earth. And there are those who claim to know, and there are those who truly know. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is not bragging. I told everyone Donald Trump was coming back about 2.5 to 3 years. I lost some of my friends because of this. That does not mean I endorse Trump or I love Trump or I know Trump. No. All I'm saying is Trump is coming back to the White House. This is verified. We can play the videos. In the elections of Nigeria, I think Dr. Osum also asked me that question a while back. A couple of my friends actually fought me. I said the person is going to come in is the man in Bodilon. Friends fought me. People didn't like it. I said, no, no, no. Whether I like it or not is not the question. You asked me a simple question. I told you that as a futurist, as a prophet, and the kind of things I see, this person will sit there. Now, whether they will do well, whether the economy will do well, all those things are what I saw is what I saw. What's the bigger point? You need sight to be added to the insights that data gives you. You need foresight, insight, and spiritual sight to merge together to give you a perspective. The key is not even what you will do or not. The key is that you have perspective to align your behavior today. Like I said, animals entered the ark. Human beings were arguing and laughing and partying. We know the story. All right, Annie, let me hand over. I know we have Christiana in the room. Christiana, good to see you. That's my sister right there. Amazing coach. Coach, awesome. Good to see you. Selena, thank you. Nikki, you guys are so super wonderful. Thank you for joining us on the stage. Yep. Anyone who wants to join in the studio, please, there's a link in the chat. I'm going to try and post it again. Please try and come in if you want to come into the studio. You want to share an experience you've had. Please come into the studio. I just posted the link right now. Some people would like to share their experiences with me, my friends in the Kairos family. They are here from all over the world, United States, and everyone. Please go grab a copy. Let's do this bestseller thingy. Somebody bought 50 copies already. Dr. Awesome, you are healed in the name of Jesus. I'm sorry I'm saying that openly. It is a professional platform, but God bless you. You know how much I love you fiercely, and may the grace of
Right.
God continue to be with you.
You know, look, please don't buy 50 copies unless you've got 50 people to
To give
share
it
the
to no,
with.
yeah, yeah. He wants to share it. Yeah, he wants to share it.
Okay,
Emeka,
well,
come in. Come
you know,
in, come in.
it's
Emeka, please
only,
come in.
I say your purchase only counts when the people that you bought the book for accept your gift and actually put the book in the library, right? You know,
Yeah,
so you know, just buy one, and tell your friends to go and share the link with your friends, whether through your DMs or through your WhatsApp. I'm saying share the link with them to say go and buy your own. And you know, it's 99 cents, my friend, 77 pence in England. You know, that is not. It's easier to just get them to buy it directly than you
yeah.
try and bulk buy and then distribute it to them. I assure you. Who's here? Selena. No, not Selena. Christiana. You haven't sent me a receipt, Christiana. Have you bought the book yet? I'm a bit harsh that way. Christiana, there you go.
Hello, 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 hello.
How are you?
Good day, guys. I'm going to
Oh,
begin by saying congratulations, Coach David, and a happy birthday to you.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Last
you. Birthday is on Sunday. Thank you so much.
Good. Well, I'm hoping that you're going to. Have you got anything planned for it? Are you looking forward to a good bash, or are you
Uh,
taking it slowly and quietly?
Slowly and quietly, a lot of goodwill messages are already coming in. And by the way, I've started taking gifts. Someone rumored that I'm not taking gifts. No, the gifts have started arriving. So please,
Feel
and
free. Feel free.
please, no need for greetings. We have a lot of that already. Monetize it.
Amen.
Thank
I
you so
love your
much.
straight talking. It's awesome.
Thank you, Dr. So God bless you.
I am so pleased for you and so proud of your latest drop of this book. And yes, Annie, I will be finding my way through. I've had such a long day today. I'm not going to go into it. However, I thought I couldn't have my day go past without dropping in and saying happy birthday, first of all. Secondly, congratulations. And you are going to smash it. I look forward to celebrating you completely. And well done on this launch of this book. I know you and I spoke briefly about the book you're writing and what you do, and it's been great to actually meet you and getting to know you. The one thing I definitely, as you know this, I definitely like about you is you are a straight shooter. You're somebody who really cares. You care for people, you care about people. and that just shows in who you are and what you do and how people warm to you. So yes, I look forward to more of us, being on stage, more of us connected, more books, more books
Yes,
from you,
yes. More. Thank you so much, and I
more
look forward to your
grace to
support.
you.
Amen, amen. Thank you so much for dropping by. You're super wonderful, and I'm excited to have you in my corner. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I could not be. You're kind of like, not this is wrong with you. You're quite infectious. So,
Oh, thank you so much. You make my head swell now. You're far too kind. You're far too kind. I'm
you're
sure
quite infectious.
any of Michael, my good friends, will not agree with you. They feel I am hard not to crack.
any
Thank you so
any
much.
might
And
not.
you're very kind yourself, and thank you for the work you do with the cases you handle. Your kind and type is rare, and you are every time you appear, one less case of suicide is out of the room. Now
Yes.
that's your hero right there without cape, and I pray for God's strength over you
Amen.
to do more,
Amen.
to impact
Amen.
our world.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
I always pray for you because what you do is huge.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that. Um,
Thank you so much.
yes, I'll take that. I will definitely take that. And yes, I'm going to hang around in the background. I was
All right.
quite taken by Dr. Orson's, words and his address. I think I'm kind of in awe of everything he said, and I just want to say, may God continue to strengthen you. You know,
Amen.
that's what I want to say to you. So thank you guys for being here and for supporting Coach David.
Amen.
And thanks, Annie.
Hello, Annie, where are you?
He's busy typing.
I'm kind of Emeka. I've sent you the link to join the studio, so I
Thank
sent
you,
it to your
Christiana, for
DM.
the kind word.
So please do join us.
Thank you.
Ramonsele, I'm trying to find the link to send the buy link to send to you now. So I'm doing many different things, Coach. You asked a question, right?
Ah,
I'm doing
thank you
everything
so
all
much.
at once.
Annie?
If I crashes, don't blame me.
And he's always
Ah,
multitasking. He's a great multitasker up until 7
yeah.
o'clock in the morning. He doesn't
Ah,
sleep. That's why he doesn't sleep. He does not sleep, this guy.
thank you so much. Kairos family are my people. That's the group who work together to do some ministry work. By the grace of God, to do ministry work. If you are here, please join me in the studio. You want to share an experience? Please join me in the studio. It's in the chat, or reach out to Annie. Annie is the godfather of LinkedIn. Christiana right there is a coach, a good friend of mine. And you also have Nikki on the call, PR branding expert by excellence. And you have Coach also, my brother of many years. And you have Lillian. Did I get the name correct? Yeah, Coach Lillian. I know she's based in Latin America. Lillian, where are you based, by the way? I forgot to ask. Hello? Hello?
Who?
Go on, Coach. Well, Christiana.
No,
Is it me?
Lillian. No. Christina is in the United States.
I'm in the
Selena,
UK.
Christiana's
Selena.
here. Christiana's is
I'm
near
in the
you.
UK.
Oh,
She's
Christina,
near
you're in the
you.
UK?
In the
I am,
Midlands, of
Oh,
yes.
course.
oh, really? I didn't know. So how come I feel you're in the United States?
Who
I
knows?
told you I was in the UK. You probably forgot when we spoke.
You once did. Sorry about that. Oh my
I
God.
did.
Oh my
I'm in
days.
the UK.
Apologies.
You were.
Apologies
I think
about
we
that.
spoke about the area because I thought I was in the Midlands. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. You did. Oh, the day gets busy all the
Everyone
time.
said I've sent you the link to buy the book. So I sent you the Amazon One link. You click on the
Yeah.
link, you choose the Amazon store, and then you buy the book. Make sure you buy the ebook, please, and then send us confirmation. We want
Yes.
to know that we want to add you to the prize draw to win £20 for spending your 77 pence. Yay!
Yes.
You can't lose, right?
Um.
You really can't lose.
Yeah, Selena, where are you joining us from?
Selena, I could tell you, not far from Christiana.
Oh, really?
Oh
Wow.
yes,
Oh, wow.
Venus up the
I
road from
mean,
me.
Birmingham.
yeah, there you go. Did you hear
Oh,
that,
that's
Coach
cool.
David? You didn't hear that,
I
no?
didn't. No, I didn't know. I didn't hear that.
Birmingham.
Oh, you're just next door, actually. Okay. God bless you
Where
for
are
what you
you?
do. I'm in Wales. I'm in near Chester.
All right. Or Southwest. Not north.
Oh, wow. God bless you. Well done for the good work you're doing.
Thank you.
You know,
Oh,
Wrexham,
that's awesome.
Wrexham.
you should meet. Go on, arrange,
Yeah, we should meet.
real
We should meet.
in real life.
Yeah.
Why not?
Invite
Yeah.
me
Oh,
to your
yeah.
church, then I give a testimony.
Praise God, praise God. We're going to invite you when, no problem. We're going to plan it when we're having physical
Okay.
meetings. Or we meet on Zoom now majorly, but we're going to plan it and bring you in to testify of God. That's a great testimony you had right there, and I'm happy that God ministered to you. Dr. Awesome is in South Africa. I think he's in Joburg, Dr. Awesome, right? Oh, it's quite that's awesome. All right, but
Yes,
thank
I am in
you.
Johannesburg.
Yeah. I know you're in Johannesburg. All right, thank you, Christina. Good to see you again. Thank you, Selena. All right, Andy, over to you. Is Emeka in? And please, everyone, come into the studio.
No,
Those who want
I'm
to
waiting
share.
for Emeka to turn up. So I'll share. I put the link in his DM on
All
LinkedIn, so
right.
hopefully he'll find it and come and join us. And Errol
Okay.
Monsele, I'll share the link with you as well. I suppose, Coach, let's now coming back to the book for a bit.
Yep.
What was the hardest part of writing the book?
The hardest part of writing the book was trying to put down with speed everything I'd gone through and everything that I knew as was coming by stream of inspiration. Remember, let's just check your DM. Remember, this is a 30-year chronicle, and getting myself to sit down out of my busy schedule to put this together was a huge big deal. But eventually I did. I did. There's a reviewer who I sent the book to the manuscript. Let me look for what she said. I'm going to read what she said when I sent her the book. She was so excited, and she wrote a few words about what the groundbreaking research. That's the phrase she used. She said this is groundbreaking research, and she's excited. She was excited that I even considered her. It was a friend of mine who said she does, book reviews, and she could let me look at the material and tell me because she's done a lot of reading and editing work within the Christian stroke business secular areas. And she has great insight into what I needed to do. I'm looking for a review. We can take Emeka's feedback while I look for that review. Okay, I think I'm about to get it. Just give me 30 seconds. I think I'm about to get it. Emeka, good to see you, bro. Yeah, so uh, can you all hear me? Let me read. She said, after conducting a comprehensive search, I can confirm that the prophetic ecosystem and dynamics book stands as a pioneering work in its field. While there are publications that explore aspects of the prophetic ministry, such as The Dynamics of Prophetic Worship by Catherine Summers, which focus on prophetic worship through song. Remember, Michael spoke about songs. I hope he's listening. None delve into the concept of the prophetic as an interconnected system influencing various spheres of human endeavor. These things position your book as a groundbreaking contribution, offering a unique perspective that bridges spiritual insight with practical applications across diverse domains. Indeed, the prophetic ecosystem and dynamics is shaping up to be extraordinary, groundbreaking work. Its innovative approach to framing the prophetic as an ecosystem with wide-reaching applications truly sets it apart. You're not only contributing to the body of knowledge on the prophetic, but also opened up new horizons for how it is understood and applied in leadership, innovation, and personal transformation. This is a monumental achievement, one that will leave a lasting legacy. This is what this reviewer said. And she said she went into different materials and tried to look for references, similitudes, areas of overlap. She said you have on phone. She said to me, you have distinct, unique material. Don't hesitate to make a lot of noise about it. That's what she told me. She said this is something that needs to go viral, and those words of ours put me in the mood to think about doing the bestseller campaign as we're doing right now. All right, Emeka is here. Over to you. I just wanted to read what she said about the book. Okay, I think Annie's in the back. Okay, Annie's here.
I'm always here, Dr. Emeka, please, the mic is yours.
All right. Good day, everybody. Good evening, good morning, or wherever you're watching from. It's such a delight to be here today, to be joining the entire community and all the well wishers and friends of Dr. David to celebrate this awesome addition to his list of publications. I've just been listening to everybody as you all share your thoughts. I've listened to the amazing testimonies. I've listened to the amazing feedbacks. I've also listened to the praises for the book Prophetic Ecosystem and Dynamics. So, and I just want to add a layer of thought to all that we have said about the author, Dr. David, because I came across Dr. David on LinkedIn, and as usual, he waxed prophetic. Although he was talking about the Nigerian ecosystem, but underneath, he's talking on the, under his voice, I could hear him being prophetic about Nigeria, about the food security situation in Nigeria, about several realities in our country. That was my first time ever hearing Dr. David. And going into his DM, the first thing I acknowledged to him was that, sir, you must be quite prophetic. Are you from a prophetic lineage? Because all that you said was nothing short of prophecies about the way things are and the way things might be in Africa. So that was my point of contact with Dr. David. Then after then, we had exchanged, several thoughts. We've gotten involved in conversations, and I noticed that there's something different about his paradigms, about his perspectives. He always brings, this perspective you've never thought of before. He draws from the spiritual, he draws from, his analysis of the future, and he makes a compelling conclusion about, the way things are going and the way things are likely to be. And upon closer investigation, you're going to notice that these things play out almost exactly, if not 88% to 90% of how he has predicted. So that's why when I saw this title, I was excited. So, that Dr. David is about giving a gift to a word, a gift that, that flows out from his vast experience and gifting, as far as the prophetic is concerned. So I have no doubt that the content of this book is going to be nothing short of exposition into prophetic ecosystem indeed, because I, for one, am a living testimony of his prophetic manifestation, because several times he had given me words, and I treasured those words as we read in the Bible that Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, treasured the words of the angels, looking, watching them to be fulfilled. That's the position I've taken, because I have received so many words from Dr. David, some of which have already started coming to fruition, some of which I can see daily playing out as the days go by. So I have no doubt that this book is going to be a game changer for many persons in the world who are going to be engaging with it. So, Dr. David, I say big thank you for giving us this great gifts. I celebrate it. I celebrate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Emeka. Emeka is doing super amazing work with agriculture and farmers in Nigeria. Emeka is a passionate soul. He's one of those people that you pray that God will bless with resources. One of my biggest passions is to stand beside anyone changing the world and help them change the world. I believe very, very strongly in standing beside anyone at all to change the world. Because Emeka is here, nothing dies in the hands of any farmer again. Number two, and I'm not saying something that is theory or prophecy. This is who Emeka is. By inspiration, I'm able to understand his architecture and blueprints, and this drew me to him strongly. Number two, because Emeka is here, many, many farmers and their families will live a better life. Because they will live a better life, the continent of Africa will be well fed, because the continent will be well fed, because Emeka is here and is very dedicated to these things. He's got a team he works with. I saw his trajectory, I saw his hard work, and I said, come, let's have a chat. And in 30 minutes, it was like, wow, how did you know these things? He told me, he said the nickname his mom calls him is that nothing dies in Emeka's hands. Yes, I said you've got, and it's because of his dedication, not because he has extra. And let me say this, the good God, the benevolent Almighty, has placed inside all of us numerous gifts. I've researched this for many years, and I can tell you there's nobody without a gift given by God. And our assignment is to serve our gift to the world. Emeka is doing super awesome in serving his gift to the world. And he has my prayer time, he has my personal meditation time. If he messages one of the people, I say, how are you doing, bro? What's going on? Because when Emeka succeeds, many farmers will do well, the continent will be well fed, we can keep insecurity away. Again, one of my predictions is that except people like Emeka rise, or we all support people like Emeka, at about 2040, the world is going to have a food crisis in between 2026 and 2040, or even 2030. Nigeria is a case in point. A few weeks ago, we were close to a food crisis. Thank God for intervention. January, February, March, Nigeria was close to a food crisis, and we didn't know. We just got that by prophetic insights, and all of a sudden, a friend of mine who is into agriculture and who knows the entire terrain began to give us intel. Two people confirmed it. Thank God the food crisis was averted. Those are the kinds of things we hope to do to save the world from the crisis that is coming. Like I said, we are back to the days of Noah. The animals entered, human beings were laughing. Everyone needs insights so that the coming judgment and when I use the word judgment, please, I'm not going scriptural. I'm just saying the coming events of the world, we preserve our children and our children's children from those things. Like Nikki said, we owe it to our world to make the world a better and a safer place. There are distractions, there are problems, there are crises. They would always be there. They will not go away. What would we say our contribution is to keeping our world safe for the sake of us and our children's children? And that's why we wrote this material. I said we wrote this material because I'm not the only one who wrote it. I believe it was written by inspiration. I know because there's a particular inspiration statement that says, Holy men wrote as they were moved. For none of these things are of private interpretation. The things you see here are the game plans and the solutions. And sorry, I'm about to sound like a salesman right now. It is 0.77 pounds, 0.77, that's 77 cents, 77p, and 99 cents. That's $0.99. Please grab a copy on Kindle. By tomorrow morning, it's going to revert. So we have only 24 hours to do all the good work. Tell everyone in your network, begin to call them, send them WhatsApp messages now. Begin to tell them to go pick up a copy now. Because inside these are the interventions that will save us from the coming crisis that the universe or our planet is about to experience. The crisis moments are here across different industries, whether you're in supply chain, whether you're in risk management, whether you are in project management, whether you're in strategy, whether you're in banking, so that we will not perish with the wise men of Babylon. It's a 626, I think, no, 610-page document. It has a lot of insights, well-researched material. Oh yeah, look at the thickness. That's it. It's 6 and something. Yeah. It's groundbreaking material covering different areas of the human endeavors. represented within the demographics of our societies. What we want to do is to achieve preservation for the planet. All right, I'll use the mic again, Annie. Thank you, Emeka, by the way. Thank you. I see Temitope's comment. It's good to see, yes, to see live and hear Emeka speak. Yes, Emeka is a wonderful brother. Oh, Tope has a class. Thank you, Professor Temitope. I call her Prof. She's doing amazing work in branding and helping brands come to life. Thank you, Tope, for your good work. All right, Annie, are you there? Okay, I think Annie's out of the studio.
Sorry. So I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm always here. I just welcome Henry. So our cancer specialist. Glad you're here, Henry.
Maybe I should add a layer of thought, sir. I was going to add, Dr. David, sorry.
Yes,
so I was going to add that after our conversation around the food situation in Nigeria and of course in Africa and in the world, I began seeing myself differently. I consider myself to be a Joseph. So every vision, every project I'm doing, I'm now seeing it in the broader picture of preserving lives, of preserving the lives of humans in my continent, of, so I now go out there looking to mobilize people into this vision, looking to communicate this vision clearly, because after our conversation, I became a lot more clearer about what my roles are. Of course, the vision is still evolving. So just that conversation gave me lots of clarity. So, and I appreciate that a lot. So I just needed to add that. So I now see myself as the Joseph of our time who has been called to preserve life through food security. Yeah.
Thank you, Emeka. One of the things that I do, and I'm excited.
Thank you, love you.
Yeah. Oh, Emeka went out.
Loves you. What do you mean? I'm laughing with you, crazy woman. Listen to me tell you.
Annie, are you calling that?
My wife has bought the book.
I have bought the book.
That's why I'm thanking her.
Yay. Oh, thank you so much.
Everyone who buys the book gets an "I love you" from me. So
go
and buy the book. Go and bought it yet, my friend. Go and buy the book, please. And make sure you send us a receipt.
Yeah. And everyone who buys the book has a billion I love yous. Is that correct English? From me,
Yeah.
But there's something that what Emeka said just a minute before. I don't want to lose it. One of the crises we have on the continent of Africa, sorry, just a minute, Emmy, just a minute, is identity crisis. And one of the things I do is identity reimprinting or identity reengineering. In between your identity and your assignment, there's a mismatch. And a lot of people don't have the picture. You see, the picture of a future that you cannot picture, you cannot feature. That's a lot of churches. The future that you cannot picture, you cannot feature, simply put. Now, one of the reasons why people don't have success is that there's a dissonance between image and consciousness. The image that they have of themselves in their minds and the conscious realities that they walk in are dissonance. When you find a congruence by prophetic intelligence between the two of them, geniuses are created. And that's one of the core ideas of my work. If I meet someone in 60 seconds, I can tell you your predominant design by architecture and how there had been the dissonance factor. This groundbreaking work I've done for 20-something years. Everyone carries it in their voice. It's also called architecture. People carry it in their voice. People carry it in their looks. People carry it in their body language. And in Africa, there's an endemic of those kinds of disjoints. And what we just did with Emeka is say, do you know that this continent is glad? And when I speak to people and I say things that the continent is glad to have you, or we celebrate, like I always tell Dr. Olson, and I tell him all the time, I say to him, we don't tell people when they do good in Africa. It's after they are dead now, God forbid, and he's not dying soon. And he's going to be here at least, for another, 50 years most likely, because he created the problem. It's people that created the problem. So he must be around to help us solve it. That's a joke right there. That's
No,
I'm that's
I,
the way
I,
I'm doing
I,
my
no, no. I think that look, there is something in what I met you. So now you and I met a few weeks ago, right?
yeah,
Coach
yeah,
David,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I was like, okay, I get it. Even though most of it's it's over my head half the time, right? But I get what you're saying, though. So to
Yeah.
bring it to Emeka's point,
Mm,
my true belief and my understanding, which I think is what you talk about prophecy, is
mm,
simply that if you do things out of genuine love to help people, genuine love for humanity, you can't fail. You're destined to win. Now, God will help you, whatever your God is, universe, Mother Nature, whatever your that greater power than you is will help you if you're helping people. If that's your goal, truly your goal. If all you have in your heart is love, the world will help you to achieve everything you want to achieve.
absolutely.
That's that's
Absolutely.
a realization, and I think
Absolutely.
that is why I think we have to take this your talk about prophecy and now genius very seriously, because and again, it comes down to that's that simple thing. We might think we want to be clever, we want to be hardworking, we want to be charismatic, we want to be whatever. All of that doesn't matter if you haven't got love in your heart. If you've got love in your heart, you've won already. That's
Yes, yes,
a realization.
yes.
That's a
And
real
yes,
thing to
yes. Thank you for that. For one of the things I love about you, Emmy, and simplicity is genius. You have a genius way of making things simple, and I love that part of the conversation. Maybe it's part of being break. That's what you call it, British. And I always like to call it the way any calls it, British. If I say British, they'll know I'm Nigerian, so it's British. I'm British. I learned that from any. I'm British. All right. So seriously, seriously, everyone on the call, when you give people believe capital, when you take their soul on the journey of new perspectives of their size and what they are and what they represent, you fuel them with the ability to perform deeper, higher, and bigger. One of them is the love capital. That's what you're saying, Annie. That just don't have any agenda, just be willing to help. Like when I saw Emeka's work, and there are a lot of people like that. I see things like the planet. Some people say, oh, he's using too many kind words, he's being flowery with words. No, I've analyzed to the end the import of what you're doing. And I can see, not just by physical eyes, but by the eyes of the spirit, that you're actually doing so. That's awesome. For example, is trying to save Africans and suicide problems and depression problems at the African Institute of the Mind, a person, AIM, African Institute of the Mind in South Africa. A mind at a time, help Africa to become what the original intention was by unleashing our greatness. That's a very big one. And so when I meet those kind of big, audacious goals, I'm always excited. And these are the category of persons that I wrote this material for. Whatever the area you're in, whatever the kind of things you're doing, you were created for much more impact in a very pragmatic way. Your eyes is a very expensive system. Your ears is very powerful. Your two legs are sophisticated machines. Your digestive system is amazing. Just imagine for once all the energy it takes for a pregnant woman to process food on one side, and on the other side the baby is living inside the same physical tummy, and there's no problem or no crisis. That's a masterpiece right there. All of that equipment cannot be there for nothing. There is a purpose, and it's big and it's grand. The earlier we recognize these things and connect with our genius by using systems like the prophetic ecosystem and dynamics in our work, the bigger the impact would be. And it's going to be legacious. I hope that's not bad English. You're going to step into legacy faster. All right, Annie, let me yield the mic to you. I got hyper excited. I cut into you.
I think. Thank you so much. I want to welcome Victoria. So we're gonna have a legend. She's working on her books as we speak.
Oh,
You
that's right.
know,
Victoria,
she's
welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back.
You know, I'm sure you get to meet her properly soon, everyone. You know, we will get her talking and doing events. You know, anyone who does a book will have this their day, like today, Coach David, the day of your book launch. And of course, there's all the pre-events as well that we do. You know, so I'm glad you're here. Sarah Montelli says, "The future you cannot picture, you cannot feature." I tell you, life is simple, Coach. Right? Life is very simple when it comes to principles to live by. You know, having the vision and being willing
I
to work
agree.
towards it. That's all it is, really, right? And
I
that's what just
agree.
makes living, living and just being, living in love and doing things out. Now that's as simple as life gets, right?
I agree. I agree.
We don't have to
Excuse me.
complicate.
Yes, yes, I agree. And the simpler you live, the easier it is
Mm,
for you to live the life.
mm,
Like you were saying earlier, people are totally unhappy because of what they don't have, and they lose sight of what they have.
mm,
And the cure for ingratitude is loss. The more ungrateful you are, the more you will lose those things that you even have right now. If you want to have more, start with the position of gratitude. So I agree with you fully. One of the beautiful things about the position of gratitude is a posture of simplicity. Just to be grateful and to be yourself in the moment and in situ, not hoping for something too extra and too heavy and too powerful. Living like this will give you the necessary authenticity to embrace yourself and start a purely great prophetic journey. I agree with you. Yes, totally. I've seen this in a lot of people. The
mm,
first assignment is to thy own self be true.
mm. Indeed.
Yeah, no need to impress no one. Yourself first.
Yeah, be true to yourself for sure. Look, our time has run out, Coach. We do need to go sometime soon, right?
Oh
You know,
yes, yes.
so of course, I want to remind everyone, please, if you know, go and buy the book. The link is will be on the comment page. More chance, probably going to DM you the link in the course of our day because we can, right? Why not? You know, you've been
Oh,
here, you've enjoyed, the coach's wisdom. So why wouldn't and our friends as well, who shared their wisdom today. So why not spend your pennies to buy the book? Please do. If you do, send us confirmation. You can send me a screenshot of your receipt, and I send Coach David a screenshot of your receipt. Send just you can even send a picture of your phone to our DM, with the book in your Kindle library. If it's there today, then obviously you bought it today, right? Yeah, otherwise you pay big money. And so if you send it today, then we can add you to the prize draw. Now, if you can forward the buy link to people your friends, your family, who can benefit from living in the prophecy, and it is the formula for a happy life, for a successful life, for a transformative life. And that's what this book really is. And I don't know how else to tell you really. If you love anyone, share the link with them. Tell them to buy the book. Today something it will never be as cheap as this ever again. When are you gonna get a whole book for 99 cents? It only happens once on launch day, in my world anyway, right? So share with everyone, share with anyone who might benefit, and get them to send the receipt, send you the receipt, or send us the receipt, send us the confirmation.
A
Because again,
book.
we'd love to give you 20 pounds for spending your 99 cents. So
A
you know,
book of over 400 pages. That's
600,
awesome.
600, 600,
600. Oh my
600.
goodness.
I'm,
Wow.
I'm, I'm going to start reading tonight because I actually want to finish the book to know really what's in it from cover to cover.
Wow. That's three
So
That's
books.
a lot of
Thank
pages.
you so much.
it's a lot of pages. So thank
Awesome.
you. Selena's bought hers. Christiana's bought hers. So I
Thank
think
thank
I think Nick
Thank
I
you
think
so
Nick
much.
has bought hers as well. I think so.
Yeah, Nick is born.
Well done everyone. Well done everyone. So I truly appreciate you. Let's do what we can to know. I think Marcellus bought his. I just got his receipt as well. So thank you so much, everyone. You
Thank
know,
you. Eromosele says the
Thank
power of
you.
this book starts from the table of content. Coach David is
mm,
amazing. Thank you, Eromosele. Thank you so much.
yeah, it's true. It's true. Almost every page, is a gem, right? Coach, I suppose what's coming next? Not to your other books. What's coming next along this mission of yours to help people to live their true selves?
Yes, we need to have much more conversations to prepare people. I'll be coaching individuals, organizations, systems, communities about preparing for the future. That's my assignment as a futurist. There's a coming tide, there's a coming wave. And the key is that you don't want to wait for the day that everything would happen before you start preparing.
Mm,
Someone said, I've read chapter 19, Prophetic Healing. I'm touched. Wow. Yes, thank you, Romosele. Each chapter of the book was written by divine inspiration. Just like it
mm,
was said that only men wrote as they were moved. For no element of this book was by private interpretation. I did not look, I had my own experiences and I began to pen down the principles behind it and research and talk to other friends. And so my next level is workshopping this and helping a lot of people create the necessary future that they want for themselves. There are options. You cannot be stuck under the effect of the systems of this world. No, you have the leeway. You are allowed to change the future. You are allowed to lead the future. How do you do that practically in your personal life, your business, your career, your family, your continent, your country? And by the way, I'm looking for many partnerships to make lives better, to change communities, to change systems, to change structures. Those are the kinds of things I'm looking for. And I'm looking for other world changers who I know they are listening to me now because we must leave the mark of making the world a better place than we met it.
mm. Yeah, it's an amazing thing, right? It's an amazing
Yes,
thing.
yes,
And so like I say, if you work from a place of true care for others, nothing can go wrong.
absolutely.
Everything will go right. Even if it's
Absolutely.
not what we think we want.
Yes.
I think it comes back to that point about faith, having faith,
Mhm,
true faith, almost blind faith,
mhm.
because ultimately, I guess the greater power has our best interests at heart,
At heart, yeah.
and
Yep.
that's what we're gonna get. And
Yep.
in retrospect, we will realize that we've had what that is what we needed rather than necessarily what we wanted that we got.
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah, my friends, it's a deep way of looking at life. I think as Coach said, it's a simple way, but it's also a very deep way of looking at life.
mhm. I
Yeah,
agree.
so let's go and live our prophecy.
Absolutely.
That's our duty, right? And I said that's our responsibility. We have special powers. Let's go and live it properly, and let's impact the world positively. And the money will come. Let it be said, Coach. The money will come. If money is, it's not if money is important. Let's not say it's
Mhm,
not, but the
mhm,
money will come in good time. If you just
mhm,
serve, I mean, you've heard about servant leaders these days. A lot of people talk about it without being a true servant.
mhm,
If
mhm,
you have an inkling of ulterior motive, don't be
mhm.
surprised if things don't go great. Whereas,
Yep.
if you're truly, you know, that person who's there to make others live a better life, live an easier life, live a happier life.
Mhm.
You
I agree.
you'll be blessed. It's a
I
given.
totally agree. And life and the systems of this world, the ecosystem, has a way of finding out. There are
Mm,
many people out there who claim to be helpers, coaches, lights, who
mm.
are actually part of the problem.
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the ecosystem knows those that are true and genuine. You see.
Mm, yeah. My friends, thank you for spending your time with us. I've asked all my questions. For those on stage, do you have any burning questions? Is there anything that you really want to cover before we go?
I
No?
have one question.
Go on, Nikki, please. The mic is yours.
Yes.
Coach David,
Yep.
what do you hope for the
What?
readers of the book, of both books?
Yes. 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 I hope they are prepared for the future. I hope that they are financially secured. In fact, it's captured in the phrase of the apostolic writer who said, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. I want everyone who reads the book to have a better outcome, to prosper in their lives, and to be ready for the coming tide, and to be totally strong. And like Emeka, change their own world too. Do the things that they were called to do in the world. And lastly, for the entire world to be safe, especially for our children and our children's children. These are the things that drove me to pen my experiences down with regard to this material. And I know it's doable and achievable.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you more. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, of course you did. So Ramanseli says, I've always respected Coach David, especially when the cyber struck. So,
That's
with the
coming.
cyber strike that's coming, can we avoid it? I don't know. Let's see what, let's, no, well, I suppose the thing that I know for sure, Coach David, is that we will survive.
We will.
We'll find a way.
Yes, we will.
We can cope with anything. So, we'll carry
Mhm.
on. It might be hard,
Absolutely.
but we will survive. So don't let it ruin you're looking forward in this life, right? So the
Very true.
challenge is in this is that the world is getting more deaf, and the devil is possessing the atmosphere and we're losing awareness. I will do a deep review. Thank you, Coach David.
I, I appreciate this, Masele. Thank you so much. I look forward to reading your review
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah,
on Amazon, right? Please do.
yeah.
Everyone who reads the book, please help me do a review on Amazon. I will really appreciate it. Let me leave a comment on Amazon on the book and what you picked away and what the book was good for.
Please do, and do follow Coach as well.
And please follow me on all the platforms.
If you see me on Amazon, please follow me too. I'm on all.
Ah,
My book is there. My book is behind me. See that book behind me?
also,
Yeah,
yes, the
that was
lessons
very
from
good.
COVID. Yeah.
And so the next one is Selena and I's health book. Now I've got this party out of the way, Coach. I can start concentrating on our book now, Selena.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Look,
Thank you,
go and buy. If
everyone.
you haven't bought the book, please go and buy the book. If you have bought the book, we love you. We thank you. Seriously. Do connect with Coach and get to meet him and have a conversation with him. You can see clearly he's a lovely guy, so do get to talk to him, right? My friends, we must go. And I said,
Yes.
if we DM you later, please don't be a hater. Just
Thank
understand, right?
you. Thank you all.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Thank you
everyone.
all so much.
Bye,
Thank
Everyone
everyone.
have a
you.
blessed
Bye.
night.
Thank
You're a
you.
star.
Bye.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Christiana,
Yes.
Selena. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Take care,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And
Celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. Achieve success with global.media.